Pat Bowlen, Colorado's favorite transplant not named Elway. What an unlikely and amazing success story to grow roots at the base of the Rockies. Pat Bowlen blew in like a warm, well-tanned breeze from Canada, riding a pile of money he traded for Broncos. But even if Pat Bowlen didn't quite look like Colorado or dress like Colorado, he loved what Colorado loved, the Broncos. He longed for what Colorado longed for, winning. And when Pat Bowlen poured his fortune into making the Broncos winners, well, then suddenly it didn't matter where he or his money got their start. He probably could have worn the fur coat again, because by then he was wrapped in the admiration of Broncos fans across the West. The mining investor whose best claim produced a 7-pound piece of silver, then another, and another. A life ends. A legacy continues as Colorado remembers Pat Bowlen. Pat Bowlen's battle with Alzheimer's has ended at the age of 75. He's so ingrained with the story of Colorado, the pride and the success that he brought to Denver and the Broncos, and how he led the NFL as a whole for decades. It's so ingrained that we rarely stop to talk about why. In a world full of sports owners who seem to have everything going for them in life, why was Pat Bowlen such an incredible success?
I wanted to ask you, Mike, a little bit about what made him different than those other owners, because these are all the same sort of guys in general. But he obviously was able to somehow cut through a lot of the BS and get right to the point, and that's why he became a powerful broker in the NFL, in the entire league.
Yeah, the other owners of other teams aren't as beloved as Pat Bowlen was. You know, growing up in Chicago, Bears fans didn't like the McCaskies. Sure. They didn't like the Cub fans didn't like the Tribune Company, or before that the Wrigley. They thought they were cheap. And you know, I know for a while here in town, you know, Kroenke and the Monforts have had a tough time at times. Mr. B, you always got the sense if he made $25 on the team, $24.50 was going back into the team. He was spending every cent, every revenue dollar he could, because he truly did care about the Super Bowl.
We misidentified him at the beginning because he came from Canada as a Canadian. That's how
Canadian
people.
Pat, they called him.
Right, and then the fur coat comes out.
Yeah.
You know, things like that he later, you know, obviously realized was a misstep. But that was part of what Pat Bowlen's mystique was. And then he just kept making good decisions, sound decisions, things that people appreciated, exactly what Mike was alluding to, where he was a fan who was running the team. And sometimes now there's such a distance between the owners and the fans. He closed that gap.
Cool listening to three guys who know. Pat Bowlen never played a snap for the Broncos, obviously, but outside their stadium, his statue stands, and today, Coloradans came. They came and they came.
Can you put these here? Can you put them up?
Today was a sombering, sad day for Bronco country with the passing of an amazing owner in Pat Bowlen.
It's very cool to see the people showing up with flowers.
People are bringing flowers, they're bringing pictures, they're bringing little notes to what this man has done for them and what he has meant to them.
Just brought some flowers and said a little prayer, and I'm happy he's not in pain anymore, but we're all here with him.
It was sad waking up knowing that he's passed. The man, the myth, the legend, you know. You know, I got choked up seeing all the comments and the moments and the videos, and you know, it's a tough day, and I think I'll always remember this day.
He really just achieved a lot for this state and for this team that we love. I mean, Bronco country, this place shuts down when football's on. So, and it's because of him.
He's the reason, I believe, for all of the success that I've enjoyed as a fan.
Being 10 years old, almost 11, and watching him win their first one and seeing my parents cry, and I didn't quite understand it, but I got it. And seeing him lift that trophy up saying this one's for John was pretty huge in my life.
It's sad, but happy at the same time. You're sad because you know that the end of the era came. You're happy because he's not suffering from a horrible disease anymore. He's not in pain. But it's sad to see a chapter close.
There's going to be an open house tribute for fans at Mile High on Tuesday. People are welcome to come down 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Club West level lounge. Mauricio Venzor Gonzalez was the missing man for months, the guy who disappeared from Denver Health after shooting a Denver police officer during a chase. He was sentenced today to 32 years in prison. After his months on the run, he's going to go on trial for charges related to the escape this summer. A DPS teacher is out of a job after forcing a black student to clean up after a white student who had gone to the bathroom on the floor. The district acknowledged this happened, but would not discuss it. So our Sonia Gutierrez discussed it with the student's mother, and what she heard was striking.
My name is Talia Abdullah, and I live, work, and play in Park Hill. I have 4 children.
Girl, you look amazing. Tell me about your youngest. What's he?
Oh my goodness, he has a smile that just lights up the day.
Take me back to the day that it happened.
He said, I had to pick up poop today. Where I said, did you poop on the floor? He's like, no. He said, well, why did you have to pick up poop? And he said, my teacher told me to. What the finding was there was discrimination based on race. And he said that night when he told us that he felt sad, he was uncomfortable, and it just made us realize, like, we hadn't prepared him for this because we were thinking we had another year or two to give him the talk. And we felt like we failed him because we didn't prepare him for this world. We didn't prepare him soon enough for this world that does not always see and appreciate Black boy joy. He should just have the same childhood as everyone else. Why wasn't he given the benefit of the doubt like the other little boy? I wouldn't just say, listen to your children, listen to the children. Listen to all of our children, because we have to be a voice for those children who may not have someone.
District officials tell me that they are making changes to their current implicit bias training. Right now, it's optional. The district wants to make it mandatory, Kyle.
That was a pretty overwhelming thing that we just heard there. She's talking about how young to prepare her son for the realities of the world. You know, we're talking about elementary school kids. That's
what she was saying, is she said, I thought that I still had, another year to give him his just childhood. Yeah. But this came far too early than what she thought. That's so sad. Sonia Gutierrez, thank you very much. Republicans have their next recall target at the state capitol after they abandoned a recall against State Rep Tom Sullivan of Centennial. Our partners at Colorado Politics report that Republicans are going to go after State Senator Brittany Pedersen of Lakewood. She won her race last year by 16 points. Republicans are launching recalls after they got shellacked in 2018. Recall elections typically turn out far fewer voters, so that means that Republicans have a chance to win seats that they lose double digits during normal elections. The Coloradans running for president got the best possible draw for the first set of debates. Former Governor John Hickenlooper and Senator Michael Bennet will appear on stage with both of the frontrunners, Senator Bernie Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden. Biden and Sanders will ensure that people are actually watching on the night of June 27th. Doesn't hurt that Senator Kamala Harris and Mayor Pete Buttigieg are in the same debate group. Now, Hick and Bennett will need to stand out from the other relatively unknown candidates in their grouping, Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, and Congressman Eric Swalwell. All right, though, here are my early predictions for this debate. Hick and Bennett will each have a pre-prepared funny line about each other, but they'd be wasting their time trying to draw contrast there. They'll leave each other alone. Sanders and Biden just want to debate each other. Hick is going to twist his first question, or maybe a second one, into a chance to hit Senator Sanders over socialism. That's the drum he keeps beating now. Hick has to hope that Sanders punches back and kind of brings Hick into the conversation. And he has to hope that Biden doesn't just piggyback on Hickenlooper's centrism.
Now, Bennett's thing lately appears to be getting mad in public. Remember his fiery floor speeches in the Senate? So expect Bennett to get mad about something during the debate. Hopefully he's not getting mad that he's not getting talk time, because that always looks whiny during a debate. Both the Coloradans are going to need to make the most of a brief opportunity to impress the Democrats who are tuning in on June 27th. But the fact that the front runners are there, couldn't ask for anything more. Thousands of people will celebrate Pride this weekend in downtown Denver. Democratic Governor Jared Polis, America's first openly gay man elected governor, unfurled a Pride flag at the state capitol today. First time that it's flown there, happening under a historic administration. The crews pulled up the flag above the steps this morning. It's got the new Colorado logo on the center of it, which we won't talk about just what a terrible logo that is, because this is a wonderful historic moment. We don't want it ruined. Denver's Pride Fest is happening right across the street from the state capitol. That's one reason why they're flying the flag.
And they'll get to see that, yes, they're not only accepted, of course, but are also celebrated here at our capital in Denver. That we're a state that really prides ourselves on respecting everybody and really celebrating everybody, and that Coloradans from all walks of life, regardless of their geography, their ethnicity, their gender, who they love.
Had to do the close-up of that clip art logo. The flag looks great. I mean, the flag, it kind of jumps out from the stone. It looks great, but the logo. Denver's Pride Fest begins tomorrow in Civic Center Park. Pride Parade, the big event, Sunday, 9:30 in the morning. Think about your dad. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Stubborn.
Let's go to your second thing.
Honesty and good news. Just what we need this Friday.
My good news about my dad is he's always ready to go make fun memories with me.
And you can climb a popular 14er for the views, or to check out its award-winning bathrooms. Nature is calling.
Just the stories we were sharing about Pat Bowlen, everybody uses kind of the same word to describe him. He was just cool. He was just a cool owner that was available, that did not walk around under that owner's kind of mentality. He just had this thing where he cared about you. He had a genuine concern about you and your family, but he gave you everything you needed to be successful. That's all you can ask for.
Finally Friday. We didn't mind the high of 85, but the storms tonight kind of putting a damper on some of those outdoor activities. Rockies take the field in about half hour or so, and I think we're going to just miss out on the thunderstorms, which have scooted off to the east of us. But some of these storms have hail, lightning, damaging wind in them. They're racing off to the east. Area in blue is the severe thunderstorm watch out until 9, and that's where we're seeing those hail reports, Burlington and Lamar. Tomorrow, right along this boundary, some stronger storms are likely to fire, along with a cooling trend. Cool air will follow this front through, and that means temperatures 10 degrees cooler for both Saturday and for Father's Day. Tonight, chance of showers and thunder early and then clearing, and then tomorrow we do it all over again. Sun to start, foothill thunderstorms by noon, and late day storms in Denver. Tonight, partly cloudy and 54 degrees. Tomorrow, sunshine early and then afternoon showers. Mid-70s both Saturday and Sunday, and then a warming trend as we get into the middle part of next week. And Kyle, a week from today, hello summer, the summer solstice at around 10:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Kathy. Coming to Long's Peak for the views and stay for the award-winning toilets. No, for real. They are seriously good, shiny new outhouses built by CU Denver's Colorado Building Workshop and recognized by the American Institute of Architects. Look how they blend in with the trail, and they can handle the 100-mile-per-hour winds up there. They also divert urine into the environment. How green. That's good news for the person who used to have to shovel out the waste from the old toilets. Also good news for the llamas that had to carry the waste down the mountain.
My good news is being able to share love, grace, and aloha through my daughter so other people can experience it.
And it's Friday, so let's hear your good news from the dads and about your dads.
My good news is he loves me and he'll do anything to keep me safe.
And a Colorado native is getting famous. He's a magnet for really bad first pitches. Next. I'm not allowed to say the actual phrase on TV, so I will just call Darren, Georgia, an excrement magnet. He's a sports photographer who keeps getting targeted by ceremonial first pitches. Remember, he's the guy from Erie who took a shot to the lens at a White Sox game last month. Just boom, right like that. He works for the Sox, so he's always there at the park. So he was back out there last night. Again, the ceremonial first pitch, not fantastic, but Darren's not about to get hit again. He catches that one, and everybody there who knows the story is very impressed. CDOT crews are still out working repairing Highway 145 around Colorado's new Memorial Rock. Not the greatest name, let's be honest, but an interesting idea. When the rock slide damaged the highway between Cortez and Telluride over Memorial Day weekend, rather than move the enormous boulder the size of a house, the state decided to just keep it there and build the road around it. CDOT says that work should be finished in mid-July. Would not be Friday without your good news, and this week it belongs to the dads.
His hands is in so many things in this community that people don't know because he don't want the credit. He was really investing in these kids. He was investing in this neighborhood. And for me, you don't forget stuff like that because it reminds me, okay, you're never too big to go give back. You know what I'm saying? It's not really giving back when it's just a part of who you are.
Farrell Lake in City Park is named after a dad, Thomas Hornsby Farrell, poet laureate of Colorado at one point. That's where we went to find your good news.
It's so much fun. They have boats. A father takes care of their children because they love them, and they'll never let them go.
My good news is I have the best kids in the world.
My good news is being able to share love, grace, and aloha through my daughter so other people can experience it and hopefully have my daughter make less mistakes as I did growing up.
My good news is I was raised by two great dads, my real father and my stepdad. Both did a great job and I love them dearly. And then the great news is through Ancestry.com, I realized that either one of them are my real dad, that now I have a real dad that I never met and he's also a great guy. Absolutely true. My mom had an affair and I just found out.
My good news about my dad is he's always ready to go make fun memories with me.
My good news is I'm fortunate enough to have my kids travel from Kansas City and meet me in Denver for the weekend.
My good news is he loves me and he'll do anything to keep me safe.
Of all the things I've done, being a dad was the most meaningful and enjoyable, and years later I have very positive memories of times when my kids were little or teenagers or through the whole process. It was the best.
Happy Father's Day.
That's sweet. But can we go back to where she's dad and then a stepdad and then she takes a test and there's a whole new dude that's her dad? Oh my. Joy Parrish says, what do you love most about being a dad? That I'm certain that I'm the father. We'll see you next time.